evening, Tarot fans, and welcome to Tarot Thursday. This is Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me I have Reverend Don Lewis.
Hello, hello.
And a big shout out to Reverend Don and Reverend Brian for filling in for me last week while I was at the Pagan Unity Festival.
Thank you.
I certainly do appreciate you.
And Elvis. Don't forget Elvis.
We can't forget Elvis. Was Elvis stealing the show again?
Here and there, yes.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone who is joining us. So, if you have questions you would like for us to do a more or less 3-card reading on, please go ahead and post them in chat, and we'll be happy to do a reading for you. Good evening, Jade. Welcome. While we're waiting on questions, I will say I had a most wonderful time at the Pagan Unity Festival.
Good.
I taught one class on tarot journaling and one on beginning numerology. They were both well received. I actually had people waiting on me when I showed up.
Very good. What was your favorite part of the experience?
Oh, well, I'm just going to be prejudiced and say Drunken Shakespeare was really good because I had several family members involved. Hello, Renee. I'm not sure how editing it out is going to work because we had some technical difficulties and didn't get all the footage, but we'll see what we can do. Okay. But I mean, there were so many great moments. Got to hear Brian Hankey, got to hear the Muses live with Ginger Doss and S.J. Tucker. Hi, Nikki. Went to some great workshops, got to just hang out with Byron Ballard and Lady Belladonna and Lord Dusty.
And we have a question from Jade, who is wondering about their current romantic situations.
Okay. All right, you can go ahead.
So I've drawn generally for the question. I don't necessarily, I know nothing about the romantic situation, so I will talk about just what the cards have to say. The first thing is the Six of Coins. Six of Coins says energy will be flowing. There may be help from other people coming, help from the universe coming, good things happening. With it is the Four of Wands, which is success and achievement of something that is wanted. And finally, we have the Princess of Cups. And the Princess of Cups is emotionality. So on one hand, I would say that everything looks like it's going to be very positive here. And yet it's also very emotional. Of course, it's a romantic question. You'd expect it to be emotional. But it looks like the outcome of the situations is very good. Now, what I'm not entirely clear on, because it said romantic situations in the question, is if there's more than one going, in which case the success could be one and the emotionality could be the other. But one of them is destined for great success. So I would say overall very good. And hello to Ed in the chat room.
Hello, Ed. Good to see you. All right. So the first card I've got for you is the Two of Lamps, which indicates working in cooperation with someone. Then I've got the Chariot, which indicates you're going to see some swift movement here. And then I've got the Nine of Pentacles. Pentacles usually is talking about the material realm, but it does indicate that you're going to be successful. So I'm saying that overall things are looking good for you.
And Jade informs us in the chat room that they are a polyamorist.
Okay.
And so it's for the entire situation then. Yay.
Okay, James, I hope that is helpful.
And then we have a question from Renee.
Yes. Renee wants to know if they will make any progress finding two old friends within the next 2 weeks. And Regina wants a reading. Regina, if you could post your question or if you just want a general reading, please. And we will get to you next. So Renee, the first card I've got for you is the Eight of Wands, which indicates a situation moving very rapidly before even you can think about it. I've got the Ace of Lamps, lamps being the suit of spirit. So this is the essence of spirit. And then I've got the Veil, which in this case, I'm going to say something is going to be revealed to you. So yes, I think you are going to find something out within the next 2 weeks.
And for myself, I've drawn the Queen of Coins, the Four of Wands, which we just saw, and the Mind. And in answer to the question overall, I would say that yes, I would expect you to make some progress with this in the next 2 weeks, if not, in fact, resolve it. Queen of Coins is money and prosperity and a good solid foundation. Four of Wands is success and getting something you've worked for. And the Mind says you also must think about this, that it's not enough to do it. You need to think about it and be clear on what you want to happen with it. Be clear of the effects that you're going for. Or to put it another way, be prepared for it. But yes, I would say it looks very hopeful. So there you go.
All right. And Regina has asked for career paths for both my partner and I, but mostly my partner right now. So I'm going to say, let's focus on your partner. It's probably going to be more effective to do a reading for just one of you, rather than trying to do career for both of you in the same reading. If that works for you, Reverend Don.
Oh, absolutely. And it works for Regina. Yay. And we also want to say hello to Tammy in the chat room.
Hi, Tammy. Good to see you.
And Renee says, very good readings from both of you. Thank you, Renee.
All right, and I've got some repeat cards here, and I've shuffled. Hi, Amanda, and yes, we will get to you, a reading for you shortly. So the first one I've got is the Two of Lamps, with the two always indicating that the need to work with someone else here. I've got the Eight of Lamps, which is indicating that he needs to be looking in a different direction. Try something new. It's time to make some kind of a change. And the Nine of Pentacles, which is indicating overall success in the material realm. So he needs to be looking to start a new job, or maybe even looking for a change of career at this point.
And I have drawn the Ace of Swords, which disappears interestingly against my green screen, Princess of Coins, and Four of Coins. And the coins, of course, deal with financial situations, business type situations. So it's not surprising that two of the three cards would be coins. The first card, the Ace of Coins, or the Ace of Swords, says that there's a decision that must be made here, and your partner must make the decision. And the best thing to do is to trust themselves and go with what they think that right decision is. They need to trust themselves, make the decision, and act. Princess of Coins says that everything they need is there, that they really don't need to wait for anything more, that it's already present, but they're holding back for some reason. And that's probably what the decision is about. Maybe they're afraid to put it into action. Maybe it seems like they'd like to be more prepared, but really everything is ready to go, except they have to go. And then the Four of Coins is energy being held back. Situations that don't want to change. So what I would say is that your partner should look at their situation, realize that change is necessary, and just kind of bite the bullet and make the change. I think they probably already know what to change, and they certainly have everything they need to do it, but they're holding back from it. And there you go.
In other words, we got the same reading again.
Yes. And Regina says, I keep telling them that too.
Okay, now go tell
What could be better than that?
we said so too. You're very welcome. Okay, and now Tammy has asked for a general reading. Edward, so good to see you, my friend. Thank you for stopping in.
Yes, indeed. Oh boy, all new cards. I think I go first this time, yes?
You
or was
did.
I? Okay. First card is the Princess of Wands, followed by the Soul, followed by the Queen of Wands. And this would be speaking, because it's a general reading, it's speaking to the relatively near future, going forward from where we are. The next several months, next several weeks to the next several months. Princess of Wands is a situation in readiness, but not yet happening. So I would say that Tammy is looking at a lot of things that she would like to be doing, but it's not quite time to do them. And you're more in the process of getting ready for it than ready to do it. So as you're looking at it, be excited, be anxious, be all those good things, but be patient also for the correct timing. With it is the Soul, which says that what it is that you're hoping will happen is very important to your personal and spiritual development, and in a lot of ways will carry you forward. And where it's going to carry you forward to, of course, is the Queen of Wands, which is a card of happiness, satisfaction, and it's a card also of making things grow and blossom. It is a card of creativity, passion, and again, satisfaction. So what I would say is that you're on the premise of moving forward and of growth and expansion in your life that will be affecting you spiritually, though it may not be necessarily spiritual in what it is, but it will be affecting you spiritually. And it's just a matter of being patient and letting it develop in its own time. And if you do that, you'll be very happy with it. And there you go.
Okay, so the first card I drew for you is the Stars. And here you can see someone meditating, and you can see their astral self rising up. So this is talking about communing with your higher self, with your spirit guide, with deity, however you choose to see that. So I think you are entering a more spiritual part of your life. The next card I drew for you is the Nine of Pentacles. I'm 3 for 3 with this card, folks, and I'm shuffling. So this card is talking about prosperity in the sense of earning what you have worked for. And then the next card I drew is the Seven of Swords, and that indicates some form of difficulty. You can work through the situation and be victorious, but it is hard work. So I pulled one more card and I did get the Four of Wands, which also indicates getting what you want. So I am seeing that overall things are looking good for you. And if there's some sort of difficulty in your path, just consider carefully what you need to do to deal with that and follow through with your plans carefully. So I hope that is helpful. And next up, we have a general reading for Amanda.
And Tammy says, thank you guys. That was amazing and exactly what I needed to hear. That's wonderful.
You are very welcome, Tammy. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so the first card I have for you, Amanda, is the Wheel of Fortune. And so in this case, this means that in your current situation, you are going to have some absolute good fortune here. So look for that. Then I've got the Seven of Swords again. So I'm just all about repeat cards tonight, apparently. So again, with the Seven of Swords, you are seeing some form of difficulty, but you do have a way to get through it. It's going to take careful planning and follow through. But then your outcome is the Ten of Cups, the happy family card. So overall, this is a very fortunate reading.
And what I have drawn, Four of Swords, the Sun, and the Five of Lamps. So the Four of Swords indicates a period of rest or time out. So I would say that you may be feeling like you've not been able to do some of the things you would like to do, or you can't move forward as you would like to move forward, or maybe you've even made the decision to hold back for a while in the immediate past or the present. And this is all about revitalizing yourself and preparing for the future. It's followed by the Sun, which is success and happiness and good things. And so you're going to find that you are revitalized and able to move forward. And then you have the Five of Lamps, which is looking for answers and direction and purification. So I think what you're going to find is that after a time of rest, which I think is largely already over, you're going to be moving forward, but maybe not be entirely sure of how everything's going to work out. I'm going to draw one more card for you. And I've drawn the Soul. And in this context, I'd say that really means to listen to your higher self, let your spiritual guidance help you forward. And understand that this is, whatever may be happening in the physical world, this is a time of spiritual growth for you as well. And there you go.
All right. And so we are caught up now.
Well, I think we have a new one that just came in.
All right.
And hello to Felicia. But before we do that, if you'd like to get a full-length reading with either one of us, you know you can do that. Mary, where would they go to do this?
And they would go to divinationtv.com.
And you can book a nice long reading with either one of us.
Or with Reverend Brian, except Reverend Brian is busy getting married and taking his honeymoon. So we're going to say he's probably not available for 2 weeks.
But that's okay. We're still here.
We're still here. So, yes.
So Felicia would like a general reading.
Okay.
You know, I have to say, it's a good thing we have such good noise canceling technology today. Because if we didn't, you'd be hearing all kinds of sirens in the background. I believe we're both in the middle of heavy thunderstorms.
Mine is temporarily moved out. Is yours still going on?
Oh, yes. And I'm assuming that there either has been an accident or a fire somewhere, because we just had a whole bunch of sirens.
We'll say this. The first band has moved on. We've got 2 or possibly 3 moving.
And hello to Janet in the chat room. And Janet says, I hear the sirens.
I did hear it a little. All right.
Am I going first this time? I've lost count.
I think you are.
So I've drawn the 4 of Cups, the 8 of Cups, and the King of Lamps. And Janet says it's because I live close, not because of online. Yeah, Janet is like 1 to 2 blocks from here. So 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups says that Felicia is not in a bad situation, but it may not be everything that she would like it to be. So in the immediate future, she may find herself wishing for certain things that are not presently there. But with this card, what I would say is, it's perfectly fine to want what is not there, but do not forget the good things that are there. Kind of take stock of your blessings, and you'll find you're actually in quite a good situation, even if it may be easy to forget that. Especially with the 8 of Cups following, and you can see in the picture there's a little man being terrorized by phantoms, and that's what this card is about, being terrorized by phantoms. So it's a card that often has to do with worry, with fear of various situations that are not as bad as you're seeing them, because, you know, they're phantoms. There's nothing they can do to the man in the picture. They're ghosts. But he's still frightened. The situations that you may find yourself being concerned with really are not going to affect you, so don't worry about them. Even if you think they might affect you, I'm telling you they're not going to affect you. So stop worrying. Let it go. And again, take stock of the good things that are there. It's followed by the King of Lamps, which is meditation. and you can see the figure is sitting there meditating. And I would take that to mean exactly that. Meditate, relax spiritually, get in touch with your higher self, and you're going to see everything is way better than it might be presenting itself. So if you find yourself in a state where you're worried about things and you feel like you don't have what you want, take a step back, do a little meditation, and you're going to see it's really not a bad situation at all. Doesn't mean there might not be still things that you want to bring into it, but instead of worrying about that, bring them in. And there you go.
All right. So the first card I've got for you is the Three of Pentacles. And this is talking about other people perceiving the quality of your work and being recognized for it. And then I've got the Hermit. And with the Hermit, this card is saying trust your judgment. So if you know what you need to do and you need to do it, and don't let other people talk you out of it. And finally, I've got time, and here we have one of the Mayan gods, and possibly Reverend Don can pronounce it for us.
Coatlicue.
Thank you.
Aztec.
Aztec, not Mayan.
Or Mixtec.
Mixtec. Okay. And what this god is, or this card is telling us, is that time is a cycle. And so if things are going...
Pardon.
Go right ahead. So whatever is happening right now is not forever. If things are going well, it's a good time to save back some for when times are not so good. If times are not so good, well, things will improve. So just be aware that nothing is forever. And I hope you find that helpful.
Yes, indeed.
All right. And are we caught up? Yes, we are at this
We are.
point. And while we're waiting for another question, would you like to tell us about what we have happening at Corellian Publishing?
Well, we've recently brought out Beltane Blessings and the Wisdom of Rhiannon, which is the first of a series of books dealing with the Wheel of the Year for children and their parents. And this is written by Sarah Hartsong of the Tolas Sanctuary, and it's a lovely book. And that is the newest thing to come from Corellian Publishing book-wise. The Reverend Don's Book of Astrology, we are expecting to receive it from the publisher and send it out in the mail literally any day now. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. And of course, we also have Lustration Memorabilia. If people are interested in having a souvenir of the upcoming lustration and double investiture, you can get it from CorellianPublishing.com.
Okay. And Janet has asked for a general reading. I sense you are surrounded by storm clouds, Janet.
And I've been sitting here shuffling these cards.
Do tell.
Do I go first this time? I've forgotten.
Go right ahead, since you made that statement. We're all agog.
So first card is the Soul, which has come up several times this evening, followed by the King of Cups, followed by the Princess of Coins, which has also come up earlier this evening. So the Soul card says it's very important, Janet, to pay attention to your spiritual needs at this time, to what your soul really wants, not to what's practical, not to what everybody else wants, but to what your spirit requires of you. Use meditation, divination, trust your inner voice, and let your spirit guide you. It's followed by the King of Cups, which is happiness, which is what you get if you let your spirit guide you. And it's what's kind of sitting in front of you when a few things come into alignment. And then the Princess of Coins says that, this is really already kind of in place. You're just not quite ready to make the move yet. So what I would say, trust yourself, trust your spirit, and go ahead and do what you know you need to do. And you'll find that happiness comes with it. And there you go.
All right. Hello to Dreamtime, and hello to my nephew Corey, who says, I win the night for saying agog. All right, so the first card I've drawn for you, Janet, is the Fluffy, and that takes care of some of the glare I'm getting here. And when Reverend Don did the Kickstarter for this deck, one of the options was to commission a card, and my friend Fluffy did that. As you can see, the wolf is missing a foot because Fluffy had to have a foot amputated. And from what a lot of people would have viewed as kind of a disaster, Fluffy used as a very transformative experience in his life. So basically, this card is about if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. So even if there's something negative going on, there's a lesson to be learned, and you can use it to transform your life. Now I've got the Nine of Lamps here. And this is a card that is showing that you are completing a cycle of spiritual growth. So you have attained a lot, and you are looking to your future. And then finally, I've got the Sun, which is a card of happiness. So overall, I would see that as a very favorable reading.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
And hello to Anissa in the chat room.
Hi, Anissa. Good to see you. You are welcome, Janet.
And I believe we're caught up for the moment.
We are caught up for the moment. And getting back to my experiences at the Pagan Unity Festival, another thing that's just so fun is doing it as a family. My son-in-law and my grandkids were there. Thank you, Dreamtime. Dreamtime says they love my moon hat. So,
It is a
yes,
most remarkable chapeau.
it is. Seems very fitting for Tarot Thursday. But yes, doing pagan festivals with the grandkids is much fun.
Yay.
Even if I do have to explain to the youngest one, no, I went to the leather vendor to buy that pouch for myself. I'm not buying it for you.
But there are so many wonderful things there.
Yes, and that's one specific pouch I've been eyeing. And I'm getting it for me, not you.
Very cool. For myself, on Saturday, I'm doing an Earth Day ceremony at Earth Spirit Emporium here in downtown Danville. And we will be broadcasting that on Corellian TV if people would like to join it either live or later. And Earth Day, of course, is coming up on the 22nd. And
what time will that be?
You know, let me take a second and look. Because I want to say that we talked about 1 p.m. So let me see if I have it written down here. 1:33 p.m. I beg your pardon.
1:33.
Yes, 1:33 on Saturday. Well,
Okay.
let me rephrase that. At 2 p.m. on Saturday. We're gathering at 1:30.
And Dreamtime will be happy to do a general reading for you.
Yes, indeed.
And it sometimes Dreamtime says when I read for myself, I feel like I tell myself what I want to hear. And sometimes it can be hard to be dispassionate when you're reading for yourself.
This is why sometimes people will tell you should not read for yourself because you don't have distance from yourself. But that is a personal thing. And I found for myself when I started reading, that was true for me. I really should not read for myself. But over time, I was able to have the necessary distance to read accurately for myself. But everyone's in a different place, and it does change. So it's always good to let someone else have a look.
Yes. In general, I can read for myself, although if I am really emotionable, there's a word for you. If I'm
that even beats a Gog.
If I am very emotional about a situation, I will ask someone else to read for me.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't Agog the spider in the haunted forest in Harry Potter?
Agog? Oh. No.
Corey thought it was funny.
It is funny, and now I'm trying to remember its name.
It'll be Agog from now on. Oh wow, the windows are rattling.
Oh my goodness.
Not excessively, but enough. So according to Corey, it was Aragog. So close.
Okay, and of course Corey knows this. Okay, so The first card I get for you, Dreamtime, is the Sun. So this is a card of good fortune. I get the Ace of Cups. So this is the card of emotion. You've got a lot of emotional energy. And then I've got the Five of Swords. So you've also been involved in a whole lot of conflict. So I think we'll pull one more card. And I'm getting the Princess of Lamps. And the princess is talking about princesses have to do with earth, lamps have to do with spirituality. So right now, I'm going to read this one as being grounded in your spirituality, just because there is conflict going on around you. But with the Sun there, overall, you've got a very fortunate reading.
So I have drawn Two of Cups, the Moon, and Magic. And the Two of Cups says that in the immediate future, where you are now, where you're soon to be, a lot of what you're doing is going to have to do with another person who is likely to be a romantic partner, but might be some other sort of person you're working with. And it looks positive, but a lot of focus on situations involving another person. The Moon, as I read the Moon, says that you want to use your inner nature for your outer benefit. In specifically, use your magical nature. Use the metaphysical things you know how to do to influence what you want to bring about. You can see in the picture we have a little ceremony going on in a little henge, and use your emotional energy, your magical energy, to focus on what you want to bring about. And it's followed by magic, which is the ability to do just that, to bring about through your will the outcome that you desire to have. So what I would say is to don't worry about what is possible. Don't worry about what is likely to happen, but worry about bringing about your goal in the situation, because you can do so, and you have everything that you need to do it, most of which is your own focused will. And use that, and I think you'll be happy with the result. But I'm going to draw one more for you, just because, of course, I am. And I've drawn the High Priestess, which is my cards laughing at me and saying, we already told you this. Trust your higher self, work with your higher self, use your magic, it'll be good. And there you go.
And I have a little flying insect in here.
Hi, Max.
You named it Max?
Yes. There's a story behind that, but I'm not going to share it.
Okay.
But there was a bumblebee named Max who was the subject of considerable discussion recently. So I'm kind of assuming that he's visiting you now.
Okay, well, it's not a bumblebee, but there was something else interesting about Puff. We had a bumblebee hanging out with us.
Ah, maybe that was Max.
It might have been. It was hanging around one of the tents that we were doing workshops at. Just chilling. Also, the group camp we were at is notorious for as being a place that local people just dump dogs.
Oh, how horrid.
But 2 dump dogs got adopted by people from the festival.
Well, that's wonderful.
And Dreamtime says, yes, thank you. Life is some drama around me, but I can and will use my magic. Love it.
Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that those 2 dogs got adopted. A dog is a terrible thing to waste.
It truly is, and that absolutely infuriates me.
Yes, when there are so many other things a person could do, that's not good.
Okay, and we have a question from Jade. We already did one reading, but we are all caught up. And gonna say, if anyone else wants a reading, go ahead and post your question now, because we are coming up at the top of the hour. And while it's the middle of the day for Reverend Don, okay, maybe not anymore. I have to get up and go to work in the morning.
Am I going first?
I think I am.
Excellent.
So, the first card I've got is the Seven of Swords, appearing for like the 20th time or something tonight. And this card indicates that there's been some rough going there, but it's not impossible to find a way forward. Then I've got the King of Pentacles, and I get the feeling this may indicate your partner. This is a man someone with resources, who plans everything out meticulously and gets where he has by planning carefully and using resources wisely. And then finally, I've got the Three of Lamps, which is, and I'm grinning because you did mention that you were polyamorous. This is talking about working together in community. And I'm going to pull one more. And I've got the King of Lamps, and he's shown up also tonight. And so that indicates the need for meditation. So I'm going to say that overall things are looking good. You do have some issues that you need to work together on, but you can work them out.
Very cool. So as I was shuffling, I had some escapees. Oh, I thought I had 2. I've got 3 escapees.
Ooh.
So I'm going to think that these 3 escapees speak to the present of the situation, maybe its immediate past, and then the 3 that I've drawn will speak to the future. First is the 8 of Swords, followed by the 6 of Coins, followed by the 7 of Swords. So the 8 of Swords is feeling held back in a situation, like you can't do everything you would like to do, like you're well, can see the little man in the picture is kind of in a prison cell, and you might feel a little bit like that, like the walls are a little too close, like some of the things that you'd like to do, you just can't quite maneuver. At the same time, energy is flowing. And I would be inclined to say that this probably means that there may be a feeling of being held back emotionally, but not necessarily physically. That in terms of physical things, things are probably going well. And of course, the Seven of Swords is victory after hard work. It says you may be going uphill a little bit, but what you want from the situation you can have. Now, the ones I drew were Death, Heart, and the King of Wands. So death is transformation. And it's saying that as you go forward, you're going to experience a lot of transformation in this relationship. The relationship itself may have a lot of transformation. And certainly you will experience a lot of transformation with it. And whatever might be holding it back can be overcome through that transformation. Heart says, listen to your heart, do what is good for you emotionally, and allow your emotions the freedom that they need to lead you in the right direction. And the King of Wands is passion. So there's a lot of good passion and emotional potential here. And I would say the whole situation is in a state of growth and moving in good directions, even if it may have felt somewhat, may have been feeling somewhat held back in the past. So there you go.
All right. And we're going to do the general reading for Jeff, and that is going to be it for tonight. Well, I'm glad that was accurate for you, Jade, and I hope it's helpful.
Yes, indeed. Shall I go first?
If you are ready, yes, I'm still shuffling.
Once again, I had an escapee. And the escapee is past. So I would say that where Jeff is in the immediate future, maybe in the present, maybe in the immediate future, is kind of reassessing things. Maybe reassessing their life, maybe reassessing specific situations. But you can see in the picture, part of which is dropping out because of the green screen, but you can kind of see that it's an older woman looking back on her younger self, but this is also looking back on her life. And it's saying, look at what's been there, look at what has been good, look at what has been bad, and apply that knowledge. The things that worked out well, you can be well advised to repeat. Things that worked out badly, make sure you don't do them the same way again. Maybe don't even do them again. But look at what's come in the past and apply that to the present now. We have the Princess of Coins, the Magus, and the Two of Wands. Along with everything I just said about past, we have the Princess of Coins, which says that everything that you need to do the things you want is there. You're in a good situation, but you're holding back from it. It's like you're staring at the window, looking out at the park, but not wanting to leave your apartment, but wanting to be in the park. So this is kind of a card that says, leave the apartment, go out into the park, have some fun. The Magus is the ability to work your will in the world to create the things that you want. And it's saying, again, everything you need is there. You just need to do it. And it's followed by the Two of Wands, which is new directions. So what you're wanting will take you in new directions, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to draw one more, because of course I am. I'm going to draw two more, because of course I am. And I've drawn the Hanged Man, and I've drawn the Seven of Lamps. And what this says is, as you move forward in those new directions, you have to have a certain amount of patience, because it's not going to bloom overnight. It's going to take a little while to grow, and it has everything to do with purification and renewal of your life and yourself. So expect a lot of new growth. Expect a lot of purification, letting go of the old, bringing in the new. And once again, we all kind of come back to past, to looking at what has worked, what has not, and planning out the future with the wisdom of the past. And there you go.
All right, and the first card I have drawn is the Soul, which has come up several times. So this card is encouraging you to look at the lessons you are learning right now. Then I have got Strength. So whatever you are dealing with right now, you have the ability to handle it, even if it doesn't feel like it. And then finally, drum roll, please. I've got the Two of Wands. So you are moving into a new phase of your life. So I hope you have found all this to be helpful, Jeff.
Wonderful.
And with that, I'm going to say that's going to be it for the evening. And would Reverend Don, would you close us out with a blessing, please?
Certainly. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all that you do for us in our lives, and we ask you to help us to have the insight that we need as we make our decisions about how to live our lives. Help us to be in touch with our inner selves and to express our message in the world in ways that give us pleasure and success. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for this and all the things you do for us in our lives, and knowing you are always here, but from respect, we thank you for your presence, and may you be blessed now and always.
Blessed be everyone. Thank you for joining us, and we'll be back next week for Tarot Thursday.